Hey everybody, and welcome to Q&A Wednesday, where I answer the questions that you have about your health and fitness goals. Now, of course, this time of the year, December 1st, it is holiday season, and this is something I wanted to talk about a few weeks ago, but it's been a little crazy at my house. So we are going to talk about it now because, you know, every year I'm sure we go through the whole, man, I don't want to put on a bunch of weight, but I have all these parties that I've been invited to. There is a way to navigate this without completely losing sight of your health goals, and we're going to talk about that tonight. So, first and foremost, I don't want you to ever think that you can't enjoy the holidays. You know, I know we all have family and tradition and we enjoy certain things. I love to bake at my house, but there is a limitation to what I want to do because, of course, I honestly don't even mind being a little more fluffy during the holidays than during other parts of the year, but I still want to limit that because, of course, my health in general is super important to me. I want to feel good, I want to be able to function, and I don't want to hit January 1st and feel like I completely lost it all. So that's what we're gonna talk about. You can have a good time. You can enjoy those things. You just don't have to do it every day. And I know you probably have a lot of obstacles, and so we're gonna talk about ways to get around that. So number one, the first thing that you need to make sure that you do is you have a goal that's non-negotiable. Because if you're just saying, hey, I just want to be healthy for the holiday, but I don't have anything specific I'm working for, it's going to be really easy to justify the parties, the alcohol, the fun stuff, right? So, you know, when I used to compete way back in the day, I know it wasn't that long ago, but when I used to compete in the day, people would say, well, Melissa, if you really want a piece of pizza, just eat it. I'm like, no, I want to win, or at least not look stupid on stage more than I want that piece of pizza. So if you at least have some sort of a goal with a deadline, then it makes it a whole lot easier to stick with, you know, those things. Plus you can say, look, I'm really working hard for this thing, and so I don't want to ruin it by, you know, just eating whatever. So that's number one. It really will help when you have situations with low willpower. Number two, pick one or two splurges, right? If you've been invited to multiple parties, or if you're having a work party and then you're having a family party and you're doing all this, you have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, pick one or two. You don't have to go crazy at all of them. And you know, what usually happens is when you do splurge at everything, you're like, okay, well that one wasn't worth it, and that one wasn't worth it, and that one wasn't worth it. You know, why did I do that all? So if you pick one or two, and if you know that the work party is at a specific really nice restaurant, that might be the choice there. So make some quality choices so that you're not having issues. And you know, it is a good idea to have someone with you that can help you stick to that once you make those decisions. So you might be willing to share those goals and that thought process with someone who can be like, hey girl, do you really want to eat that when we already talked about this was not what we were going to do here, right? So if you have somebody that is like-minded and has a similar goal, that would be a great idea. And guys, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to parties. You know, this time of year gets really super busy for me, just any way you look at it. And I'm okay with going, you know, I'm sorry, I can't make it to that. You know, I'm really, where I spend my time is super important and it's limited. So that makes a big part of it. Number three, I get it. Like people are giving you gifts and it's amazing and you're getting all these goodies and people are baking. Trust me, I love to bake. That is my thing. I also have an issue with throwing things away. I just grew up with a generation where you just didn't waste food. So just throwing away a gift is really difficult for me. Give it away. Give it to somebody else. I love to bake during the holidays, and so what I end up doing is that I will take, not all of it, but I'll take stuff and I'll give it to my neighbors and say, hi, Merry Christmas. They get to know us a little bit more. It gives me the ability to feel like I'm not throwing away quality things, but I'm not eating it either because, again, my baking's usually really good anyway. So I really do pick and choose what I want. There's some very specific things that I am willing to have to work off, but it's not everything, right? Quality matters. All right, number four, if you are going to a party or something where you know there's going to be choices that you don't want to cave to, eat your meal beforehand. You know, one of the biggest things about Thanksgiving, which I know we've already passed, but I eat all my regular meals up until the Thanksgiving dinner, because if I do that, I'm not going to overdo the extras and the processed and the sugar and the garbage that is really easy to do. I don't want a carb coma. I don't want to feel like garbage that night. So I eat my regular food, and that way, when I do splurge, it's hard to completely overdo it because I'm already eating and my metabolism is up, right? You don't want to drop that. Also, make sure that if you're going out and you're having drinks at the party or whatever, give yourself a goal to have, an entire bottle of water in between each drink. That way you stay fuller. You're not going to get completely intoxicated, right? And you're staying hydrated because, of course, alcohol dehydrates you, and that's super important as well. All right, number 5, plan ahead for choices beforehand. If you know that you're going to a restaurant that you love and you can get online and look at the website, then make sure that you're checking, you know exactly what you're going to eat when you walk in. And if you know that maybe this is a party that you don't want to splurge at, take your own food. I've done it before. People might think you're weird. I don't care. I wear a really cool dress and I look really pretty and people go, oh wow, you have muscle. I'm like, yes, and I do that because I eat really healthy. So again, you can make those choices in advance and know what you can eat to minimize the damage. Same thing with drinks. You know, if you're drinking super frou-frou, you know, chocolate martinis and, you know, fun stuff, hot buttered rum, you're adding a lot of extra sugar. So you're not only you're adding insult to injury, right? So if you stick with things like vodka and tonic water or whatever, you're gonna not get all of the sugar and the extras. You're minimizing that damage by making some good choices. And for sure, watch the sugar, guys. Yeah, it's a hard one. You know, everybody thinks, well, I'm eating low fat. Yeah, it's not necessarily the fat that's causing the issues. It's the sugar because it's holiday, it's treat season. And so you have to pay attention to that. All right, number 6. Have an it has to be worth it clause. So just to give you an example, I know this isn't necessarily Christmas, but you know, as a kid, I loved Butterfinger and I loved candy bars and I, you know, just love chocolate. These days, I don't even think those taste good. So if I'm gonna have something extra, it's gonna be probably homemade or, you know, an extra dessert that was made specifically as a dessert with fresh ingredients versus commercially prepared garbage, right? So to me, it has to be worth it. My philosophy is if I have to work it off, it better be the best thing I've ever had in my whole life, right? I didn't even used to be a donut person, and for those of you that know me really well, I like donuts at this point, but I'm not gonna go locally and just get whatever donut or get Hostess donuts, those are disgusting. I'm gonna go somewhere where I know that it's gonna be a good donut and I pick and choose and I make it worth my while. So have that clause so that, you know, if you know, again, a couple of the parties are going to just kind of have garbage, make those your ones that you're not going to splurge at. Bring your own food, you know, walk around with a diet soda, even though I'm not a fan of diet soda. Make those choices in advance, because if you wait till you get there, you know you're not going to have any willpower. You're going to see the goodies and the garbage, and you're going to see everybody drinking it. You're going to have peer pressure. Yes, that's a thing, even for adults. So that way you know in advance and you can make those decisions and you can make them better, right? I really am a big fan of, you know, quality, especially when it comes to dessert, quality over, you know, cheap and a lot of it, right? That's super important to me. So a couple of tips. Again, don't deny yourself everything. If you're like, oh, I'm gonna get through the holidays and I'm not gonna eat anything that's bad for me, that is not gonna happen. What usually ends up happening is you get to the point where you can't stand it and you binge, and then it's even worse than had you decided, you know, I'm gonna eat some things here and there. So make sure that you make those choices. Again, don't tell yourself you're sacrificing either, because our body does not like loss. Right? Our conscious or subconscious does not like loss. If we think that we're sacrificing, if we're, you know, we're staying out of all these people going to do these things and I don't, you are going to struggle, and that's not the goal. I want you to have a happy, healthy holiday season. So that's really important. And if you do fall down, don't beat yourself up. Again, you know, family, tradition. This is one of the things I love about this time of year is just spending time with my family and traditions and things like that. Now, Christmas, not my favorite, it's a lot of work, but I do like the hope and the cheer and the lights and all of that fun stuff. So I am going to eat a little more during this time of year, but I do limit it because, first of all, if I eat too much, I feel like garbage. You know, if you really learn to listen to your body, it will tell you how it feels. Like if I drink too much alcohol, my liver gets really super angry and I can tell. So I don't drink very often, but that's a thing, right? So, you know, if you fall down though, we get that mental and emotional guilt. Don't do that. But it's okay to fall down one night, especially if you didn't plan for that, but get back up the next day and figure out a way to get through the next one without losing, you know, that issue. That wasn't your choice, right? So hopefully you have an incredible holiday season. Stay tuned this Saturday. I hope. I'm waiting on a couple of things to show from Amazon. I'm going to do some really great holiday drinks that are better options for you than some of the things that you probably are already going to drink. Also, be sure to check out my website, fillmorefitness.com. I am running a holiday special helping you get healthy through the holidays, or at least minimize the damage with a special coaching option. Be sure to take advantage of that. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you know, and if you're not, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Everything that I ever do Facebook Live goes up there a day or two afterwards, so you can watch the whole database of everything that I've ever done. Because what I tell people is the education is free. What I charge for is the roadmap. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so all the new ones pop up. And be sure if you have a question, an idea, or something you want to talk about, either leave a comment below or you can message me directly at Facebook. Messenger. Happy holidays, you guys. I hope it's incredible. I know the world's a little bit of chaos, but my hope for you and my prayer for you is to have an incredible, healthy, hopeful, amazing holiday season. So have a great night, guys. Bye now.